Hey all brothers and sisters, my name is Captain Meatshield and welcome back to Satisfactory. So I've been running numbers on some of the stuff that we need to produce going from here. And not this one, the other one, the adaptive control units. This is a lot more complicated than I was anticipating. There's going to be a lot going into this. I'm still running the numbers on everything, so we're not ready quite yet to start that. It's going to involve quite a lot of like upscaled production, especially for things like the automated wiring, circuit boards, heavy modular frames, that kind of stuff. Computers are going to be a whole new thing as well. Like, we're already going to have to overhaul the oil production because we're going to need more rubber, more plastic. I've shut down the automated wiring that we've currently got. I've just let everything feed into the awesome sink, but I still need to tear down the rest of it, so we'll essentially take everything that was feeding into that system and incorporate it into something else. But because of all the kind of iron nodes that we've got over this way, I'm thinking I might build it out that way. But I want to go into it with a serious plan of what the layout's going to be and how everything's going to feed into each other. So I'm still running the numbers on what inputs and machines I need. And then, hopefully, once I've got that done, I'm going to try and draft up, like, a floor plan. So, I want to go into this one very prepared. I don't want to be like, okay, we'll just slap everything in and hope for the best. We're going to try and get this as precise as possible to get the 5 adaptive control units a minute. It's fucking ridiculous. But what we are going to do instead is we're going to set up the modular engine production, because that's going to require far less work. We've already got all of the machines, or everything producing all of the, everything as is. So what I'm going to do to that end is, because I think it's going to be requiring motors and smart plating, and then rubber. We've already got all of those productions to the level that we need. And what I was thinking of doing, I'll get myself down here, shoot my way back up, because we're going to be taking smart plating from this floor, and we're going to need motors from over there. So what I was thinking of doing would be to bridge the gap between these two structures, essentially. I say structures, they're just a mass of floating platforms. But I thought it would be, a good way of doing things. So what we'll do, I'm just going to build out a bit of a platform across here just to bridge these two. Unfortunately, it's not quite the right height. But yeah, there's a 2-meter difference, and that's mildly frustrating. I've got to say. It's fine, we can just use a ramp to bring it up to the right level. I might use this as the actual floor height, so let's build something out, because we need to get 5 manufacturers down, and then we can start bringing resources in, get it all up and running, and start feeding it into the sink. Not into the sink, the space elevator. Why would I build all of this stuff and then just immediately throw it in the sink? That just makes no sense. It's a waste of valuable resources. I mean, I know they're infinite, but I'm gonna fuck things up. Just enough concrete to finish all that. Which is pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna get myself back up a floor so I can see what I'm doing. Actually, let's just put a foundation there, and we'll build a lookout tower. We can work off that. Where's the ladder? There's the ladder. There's quite a bit of space, which is good because these manufacturers are fucking huge. They're like a whole 2x2 block essentially. So we'll go like that, like that, like that. I think those should be dead center. That one is. And so's that one. Good stuff. And that's our 5th and final manufacturer. Yes. We'll set all of the recipes on these. No, not the adaptive control units. I think, is it? No, these aren't doing like alphabetically or anything. I wonder why I keep selecting the wrong one. Who knows? Get all of these set up. And we need to work out what the belts are going to do. We don't need Mark 3 belts on this. Just go with Mark 1, because it's all going to be slow as shit. So we need 75 rubber a minute. I think we're producing 80. We've got 2 smart plating per minute for each of these. So, you know, that's going to be a total of 10. We're producing 10 per minute, so that's good. And then we need 10 motors a minute. How many were we producing with those? I'm pretty sure we're producing at least 10, so, you know, that's not really going to be a problem. How fast are these producing? Yeah, we've got 2 of these producing 5 parts a minute, so that's 10. We've already got a massive backlog, so I don't think we need to worry too much about that system at all. So how do we want to do all of the logistics going in? I'm thinking we might do belts going above. So it's going to be a little bit different to our usual sort of stuff. So we're going to... I'm trying to figure out which side I want to, like, feed... Well, actually, it doesn't really matter, because I can feed the stuff in whichever way I fancy, really. What I might do with the rubber would be bring it up, like, obviously from kind of ground level, up in an elevator, and then I'll run it through a splitter, so we'll send equal amounts around either side, and eventually all the machines will just fill up. Just because there's a slight bit of overproduction as well. And then the motors can feed in one way, the smart plating can feed in around the other, so I have like a clockwise, anti-clockwise thing. Yeah, I think that could look quite good. I'm going to change where these are. So I'll put the rubber in the middle. I'm going to change these belts back over. So the rubber can split and go like this. We also need that to be higher. Because I know what I'm doing. You feed in like that. Yeah. Okay, I think this is going to work fairly well. What I need to do is go and grab more iron plate and concrete, because I've run very low of those already. Fortunately, I can just pinch stuff from these machines. There's concrete over on the steel setup as well, so, you know, that just works out great. So if the concrete, or if the motors are going to be coming out over this way, what I'm going to do, we'll have just a nice slow slant going up this way. Okay, this is coming together. It's starting to look pretty good. Just making sure I get all the belts going into the correct spots, going in the right directions. All of that's connected. Good. We need that coming out like that. Let me come up a bit so I can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to think how much this is going to be drawing off the power when it eventually kicks in. So we don't need a splitter down this end. No, that's a straight enough line. I'm content with that. We do need a splitter for this one. Glad I noticed that, because otherwise I would have built it and completely disregarded it. Yeah, the top row for the smart plating actually makes sense because of the splitter being so high. It's kind of closer to that as well. Ooh, yeah. Weird little design details that you don't even fucking pay attention to. And let me just get stackers in place here. Yeah, that's right. Oop. And actually that's going to need to be a Mark II because it's going to be carrying over 60 items a minute. Glad I noticed that. Now I'm just going to sort out this side, sort out power, and we can start plugging in some, getting some actual kind of items, you know, output belts from everything else connected into all this. We go through the stages, we get there eventually. And we don't need that there on this one. We just need a splitter on the rubber, and everything else is fine. Yeah, that's on a bit of a wonk, but it's fine. Out of iron plate again, though. Why are you so high? Maybe that's why it's wonky. You don't need to be that high, do you? No, you don't. Yeah, that straightened it up a little bit. Still kind of off, but I can live with it. And you need to come around this way, but I don't have the iron plate. Alright. Go grab some more. And bingo, bango, bongo, we're just about done. So, let's take a Mark I lift, bring it down to this level, and we can start dragging a belt over from the motor production. You feed out there, and wonderful, we're going to start seeing power spike up again from all this. No, it had dropped down to like less than 900 megawatts, that's not bad. It's going to go fucking right up though. I'm probably assuming that's because the power generation's dropped down, so the petroleum coke's probably backed up a fair bit, which means all of the oil systems have probably like run down a fair bit. Which means providing the rubber for this may be a little bit difficult. But as said, we've got a good backlog of stuff, so it will kick-start all of this into action, meaning that we'll need to draw more power, and then, you know, we'll have stuff start producing more, and we'll get more rubber. So, not a massive problem, I'd say. Let's drag this over to here, and we're going to connect you somewhere. If I connect this, I'll plug it in down there. Doesn't matter, it's a bit of a mess actually. We'll make that look neat. I'll plug it in here and connect to this. And then as stuff starts to input into that system, we can slowly just kind of build up a bit of a buffer, and it'll be ready for when it gets the rest of its materials. So let's sort out the smart plate feed. Ugh, these fucking stairs make me dizzy. Don't like them. So we'll sever this. Get rid of this. In fact, what I may do, I may spin the or output, change the output on the storage bin that's down here, so we don't need to be feeding smart plating into the awesome sink anymore. So let's cut the feed out from here, and you can, it will spin you around. If you go that way. I'll put a merger up on the top floor so that we can feed that storage back into this system. Where's the... What we could do We stick a merger in, say, here. You can just feed in there. And bring another belt out and around this way. And essentially just kind of... We'll take it back the way the stuff came in, I suppose. Get rid of the framework belt as well. Because we don't need those anymore, so those could just go straight into the sink. It's not really a problem. And conveyor lift down. And down. Ow! That shouldn't have hurt. And that feeds in there. Just a weird reversal of this system. Well, now I've got loads of smart plating on me, and I really don't want it. But what I will do, I'm going to connect this belt back up, so I can just feed into the sink. Update the rest of these belts as well. There we go. So all of that can just feed back out. And then what I think I'll do, I'll probably feed this back into the merger here once all of this drains. In fact, let's just drag a belt out. I'm gonna have to knock this down to a Mark II for some of this, but it's not a huge problem. It's just I ran out of Mark III materials. The what's-a-majigs, steel beams. I suppose I can get back some from back from this lot as well. There's still some smart plating on a lot of this. Yeah, it's fine. I'll just chuck it in to go in the sink. It just gets rid of it. Oh, don't go for the storage container. That would be dumb. There we go. That's all done. All sorted. So all of the versatile frameworks will just disappear. And we can go and plug all of the smart plating into this new production line. Then all we need to do is bring rubber over. There's going to be another long-ass belt. Right, there we go. A nice, very slow-moving belt of smart plating. It'll take a while for the storage down there to empty out, but it should be fine. It'll work for the time being. I think this should already be full of motors. Yep. So now it's just rubber. And I need some more reinforced plate. I don't need anything faster than a Mark II. So let's go and stock up on that. And maybe some rods. Probably do with some of those. So I'm going to do a similar thing. I'm going to just bring conveyor pole stackers out across the sands. We'll try and connect them up to the petroleum coke line, so when we get over there we've got much less faffing to do. It's just build another stacker and connect the belt. This desert's going to look like a right fucking mess by the time I'm finished with it. Okay, we've finally joined up with this. Let's hope that I've got enough plate to get myself all the way over this way. It's going to suck if I get all the way over to the refineries and then I'm like a few bits of plate short. Oh man. Because it's taken like 500 just to get to this point. I'm going to go and grab a few more stacks just to be safe. I feel that would be wise. Oh fucking hell, this arsehole's back. Wonderful. Now that I've got the initial belts in, I can probably work around him. If I can get this thing to connect. Yes. Yep. Don't need that. Really don't need that. I'm just gonna fucking skirt past him. Get me now, bitch. Yeah, there we go. Eventually I'm going to be able to scale this cliff using bloody conveyor stackers. Getting a bit daft. Oh, we're nearly there. Come on. A little bit more. That's probably good enough for me. Right. So, now, hup. Need to find which storage is for which. You are for rubber. So you are coming out over this way, please. I'm just going to stick that there. Connect it to that. And now the rubber can start heading off in whichever fucking direction it wants. I'm going to go and check on the petroleum coke. Because, yeah, I have a feeling that everything's backed up because we're not using a huge amount on the power. So I imagine a lot of these are probably full of... I mean, they're still filtering out the heavy oil residue fairly quickly, which isn't too bad. So I don't think production has really stopped all that much. These are just about emptying enough for us to keep everything going. But yeah, let's follow the rubber home. This system's going to be producing just what we need. But yeah, these belts are all nice and clear now for the rubber. It's not backing up at all. We'll have a little bit that goes through the overflow into the awesome sink, but it's going to be a minimal amount. Like, everything should just be coming straight into this now. I'm kind of liking this wall of belts. It's quite fun. It's going to take a while for us to get the materials into all of the productions. Might have been better to set it up on Mark IIIs, but it wasn't really needed. Whoa, okay, I'm gonna run. Eesh. Leave me alone. Get back up on my belts. My belt bridge. I feel safe. I'm not any safer than I would have been on the ground, but, you know, false sense of security, I like it. Oh, I also did a little bit of work down here. I'll have to show you. Ooh, there's some Caterium. Don't really need to bother with that. Pick it up at some point, but now is not the time. Yeah, set up this little sort of entryway into, you know, for the belts to go in, which I thought looked kind of cool. I could have done this with like wall conveyor stuff because I have bought those now. Yeah, they're all brand new, so I could have used those. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna. There's a massive gaping hole, and then we got little ramps up here, which take us up to a nice hypertube that gets us up onto the power plant floor. And there's a walkway that just takes us straight down towards the pipes. And I did run the numbers, I did double check everything, and yeah, I only needed one water extractor overclocked to feed 4 machines, so I've halved the amount that's up there, because it was completely unnecessary. Eventually we'll like re-expand it and all that sort of stuff, but for now it can just stay as it is. I still need to sort out a hypertube going all up there as well, because yeah, it's a bitch trying to get up there with the jump pads. And until I get a jetpack, it's going to continue to be a bitch, so I'll have to hypertube up there as well, so that we can just shoot our way up. But for now, whoop, we shoot our way back down very fast. Oh, I'm wondering if I can see our rubber yet. Let me get up here. There's a slug being guarded by bugs. There's bugs looking out for each other, I guess. I can't see it yet, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to head back to our manufacturers, and I'll get a belt running from there, plugged into the space elevator, and then we just wait for these modular engines to be produced. And then we see what the power's like, because, oh boy, is that going to be fun. Well, all of this stuff's been cleared away. Didn't last long, did it? We'll reincorporate all that sort of stuff later in the factory's development. But otherwise, everything is all plugged up logistically. We've got everything feeding into the manufacturers here. We're just waiting on the rubber. Still can't see any sign of. And then we've got the outputs from the manufacturers going down into the space elevator. So once the rubber actually shows up and we start producing these modular engines, we'll be working another step towards our next space elevator phase, which is going to be awesome. But we have peaked the power a little more. We're up to about 1,700 megawatts. So that's fun. I'm going to sit here and wait for some rubber to fucking show up. I want to see what these modular engines look like. Oh, I see them off in the distance. Oh, fantastic. They're finally on their way. There's rubber on these belts. Fantastic. Can't wait to see the manufacturers in action. And to see these new items being produced. So come on. Make your way in. Mosey on in, please. Can't remember, have I actually watched the new manufacturer animation? I feel like I have. I'm going to get this bloody rebar gun out of the way so we can see it properly. Nearly there. Here we go. Oh-ho! This is funky. I feel like I have watched this. It's an awesome little animation. All of these machines have got like a certain little bit of charm to them. There we go, that's finished. Do we have a modular engine? Oh, we do! Nice! Awesome stuff. Oh. New stages of production. It's awesome. It's a thing of beauty. Power consumption gone way up. I'm concerned with the amount that we're going to have to boost everything for the control units. I'm concerned for how much that's going to actually drain the electric supply, the power supply, even further. It's going to be a big fucking drain. But we've got another stage done. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll wrap this episode up here. I'm going to leave this running off camera. Well, I'll leave it running while I'm working out the next stage, you know, doing the automated control units. Because the weird thing is, like, you know, once the space elevator phase is done, we're not going to need this stuff any longer. So for the amount of production that I want to get out of it, which really isn't much, like, this next build is going to be fucking huge. So it's like, fuck, okay. I'm going to be building so much only to tear it down again. But we could probably, like, reutilize some of it somehow, or even just leave it as a monument to, you know, something absolutely fucking ridiculous. I don't know. We'll see what happens as we go forward from here, but I'm proud of getting this stage done. Looking forward to seeing what we're going to do next. But for now, I'm going to wrap this episode up here, so I'll just say thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out the playlists on the channel for more Let's Plays and metal covers, and give this video a like or a comment just to leave your thoughts. And if you wish to join the ever-growing ranks of the Order of the Shield, subscribe on YouTube, chuck me a follow over on Twitch, or maybe even consider checking out my Patreon and becoming an officer within the ranks. But thank you again for watching this video, and I'll catch you all very, very soon. This is Captain Meatshield, signing off. Holy shit. Oh god. Fuck. I didn't realise the tree was going to try and fucking kill me.